Hi, Grandma Debbie here. So today I'm going to show you how to make some foil packets. I was originally going to show you outside on the grill, but Mother Nature is making a cruel joke and it is 114 degrees outside. So instead, we're going to do it in the air fryer. Now when I link the recipe, I'm going to show you how to do it on the grill as well as either in the oven or in the air fryer. I'm going to do hopefully 3 packets, but for sure 2. So it's going to take a couple of days, but we're going to get started. So the first one we're going to do is called Smoky Potato Foil Packets. Alright, so let's get started. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is I've got the air fryer heating up. So in a bowl, the recipe that I'm using calls for 4 servings. Well, there's only 2 of us, so I don't need 4 servings. So I'm going to cut the recipe in half, and it calls for 1 bag of frozen potatoes, the O'Brien potatoes. I'm using the store brand, so since I'm cutting it in half, I'm going to use half the bag. So I'm adding half the bag in here, and I'm just eyeballing it, and I'm going to spill it all over the floor as well, just to keep things interesting. And I'm going to continue spilling it all over the floor. Okay, so I've got half a bag of that, and then I'm going to spill it all over the counter as well. And then I'm going to add sausage, and I'm using the Little Smokies, and it calls for 16 ounces, but once again I'm cutting it in half, so I'm only going to use a partial package, and that's if I can get it opened. So let me get out a knife. To open it. Okay, I know there's an easier way to do this. Don't want to cut myself. So yeah, it's currently 114 degrees outside. That's a little too hot to be trying to grill anything outside. So alright, so I'm going to use almost the whole package, not quite, because this is a 12-ounce package, so I'm going to use probably about that many. Okay, and then it calls for 3/4 of a cup of ranch dressing. So I'm actually going to do about half a cup of ranch dressing. Or about that. And then I'm going to mix it together. Get this all mixed up, and then after it's done cooking, we're going to add cheese and green onions to the mixture. I guess it doesn't probably need any more than this. Okay, so I'm going to get my foil packets. Move everything out of the way. And I'm going to spray them. I'm just going to go ahead and spray them with Pam, or cooking spray. And then I'm going to add about half of the mixture on the first one in the center. And I'm just eyeballing it. And then I'm going to fold it up. You want to make for sure you give enough room for it to expand. Now I went a little bigger than what you're supposed to do with the foil packets, and I don't know why, but I did. Now the nice thing about foil packets is that you can make them up earlier in the day and then have them ready for when, like, if you want to have company coming over, or if you've got, I don't know, if you want to take them on a picnic or something like that, and you've got all the stuff already made, ready to go. You can toss them in a cooler if you want to take them for a picnic. So they're kind of nice. And like I said, I originally wanted to show you on the grill, but it's a little too hot to be outside trying to grill. Okay, so these are ready to go into the air fryer. And my air fryer just beeped and said it's ready, it's preheated. So we're going to head over to the air fryer and get it into the air fryer. Okay, so I'm going to put these into the air fryer. And then I'm going to set the timer, maybe, set on bake. And I'm going to set the timer for 30 minutes. Halfway through though, I'm going to come and I'm going to readjust them. Alright, so at the 30-minute mark, I will pull them out and we'll have dinner. Alright, so I will see you back as soon as these are ready. Okay, so I've gotten these out of the air fryer, and I'm going to open them up, and I'm going to add some cheese and green onions to them, and then I'm going to seal them back up and let them sit for a few minutes until the cheese melts. So I'm going to add about a 1/4 cup of cheese in each one, or maybe a little more than that in each one of these. And I'm just going to add a little bit of green onions. I'm just going to use up whatever cheese I had left. I had about a cup of cheese here. And I'm just going to add the rest. And then I'm going to add a little bit of green onions just to top it off. Okay, and then I'm going to seal them back up, like I said, until it melts. And then I'm going to let the cheese melt. And then when I serve them, I will take a picture and show you what the final product looks like. All right, well, once again, thanks for coming along with me, and I hope that you have a great day. All right, thanks. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and thanks for coming along with me. Hi, Grandma Debbie here. So today we're on meal number 2 for our foil packet meals, and we are going to make seasoned burger potato foil packets. And so we're going to get started. All right, and once again, I want to just remind you that foil packets, you can make them up ahead of time. You can put them in the refrigerator or in a cooler or whatever you need to do if you're taking them someplace, and have them ready to go for the barbecuer. Once again, it's about 112 outside, so I'm going to cook them in the air fryer. But when I link the recipe, I'll show you what you can do for the air fryer to bake it in the oven or on the grill. Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing we're going to need is we need potatoes. It calls for, I'm cutting the recipe in half. The recipe is for 4, but there's only 2 of us, so I'm cutting the recipe in half. And so calls for 8 small new potatoes. I'm not using new potatoes. I'm using, and I'm going to make a lot of noise, I'm using russet potatoes, but I'm using the small russet potatoes. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get started on cutting them up. So, and I'm using 4 of them because, once again, it's just the 2 of us. So I'm going to cut them into pieces. And then after I get them all cut up into pieces, we're going to season them and then we're going to microwave them. peppers. Okay, almost. Probably going to be more than enough potatoes. Okay, so I got my potatoes cut up, and now I'm going to add the seasonings. I'm going to add a teaspoon or a half a teaspoon of seasoned salt, and I'm using Lowry's. And then I'm adding a half a teaspoon of Italian seasoning. And then I'm adding a little under a tablespoon of olive oil. You can either use vegetable oil or olive oil. It's completely up to you. I generally use olive oil. I'm going to mix this all up, all the seasonings and everything up in here, get it all mixed up. And then I'm going to microwave it for 4 minutes until the potatoes are fork tender. And so while I microwave it, I'll get out the packets, the foil, and get that ready for us so we can go on to the next step. Okay? All right, so I'll be back in 4 minutes. Okay, so it's been 4 minutes, and I just got these out of the microwave, and they are fork tender. So now we're going to finish up. So I'm going to spray the sheet with some cooking spray. I'm going to put a frozen hamburger patty in the center, and I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of seasoning salt, seasoned salt on top. And I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of the Italian seasoning on top as well. I'm going to add half a cup of the, or a quarter cup, I'm sorry, of green beans on top. And they're frozen green beans that I'm adding. And then I'm going to add about half of the potatoes. Oops, as I make a humongous mess. But you guys have been around now, you know me, I'm going to make a mess when it comes to a lot of things. So that's just me. Okay, so that's about half. All right, so this is the first one. So I'm going to fill it up. Put it on my sheet. I'm going to do the same thing for the next one. Seasoning. I knew I was going to forget a step. guess the heat's getting to me. I'm getting brain fog. Okay. Get some of this deliciousness. Okay, so I'm going to fill this packet up. And then I'm going to put it over here. And then okay, so I'm going to put this in the oven, in the air fryer. God, I'm having brain fog for sure. So I'm going to put it in the air fryer, and I'm going to cook it for about 40 minutes, but halfway through I'm going to flip them over and cook it for another 20 minutes, so until they're done. All right, and then after they're done, I'm going to add some green onions on top, and then we're going to enjoy them. All right, so I'll see you back in about 40 minutes. Okay, so it's been about 40 minutes, and I just took these out of the oven, and so I'm going to open them up, and I'm going to get you a little closer here in a minute, and I'm going to show you what they're going to look like. They're really, really hot, and I'm going to add some green onions on top of them. It smells delicious. And then I'm going to let them cool for a moment because it'll burn our mouths. And then we're going to have dinner. We're going to enjoy dinner. So let me add some green onions and let me show you what it looks like. Okay, so I've added some green onions. Let me bring it a little closer so you can see what it looks like. So this is what it looks like. All right. So thanks for coming along on this, and I'm going to do another one tomorrow night, and then I'll have 3 packet meals ready to go for you. All right, thanks, and have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Hi, Grandma Debbie here. So I'm getting ready to do the final foil packet dinner, and I'm going to do a ranch chicken and potato foil packet. So I'm hoping that you enjoy it. Once again though, I'm going to do it inside. It's 114 outside right now, and that's still just a little too hot to do it outside. So we're going to do it in the air fryer. I got my air fryer preheating right now, and then once it's preheated, I'll pop it in the oven. But what I'm thinking is that in the fall, when it's a little bit cooler, I've been kind of looking at the recipes a little bit of these foiled packet dinners, and I think I'm going to tweak them a little bit and then redo them. And then list this link to this video of it, and let's compare and see which ones we like the best. You know, maybe you like these ones better than my tweaks, but I think that's what I'm going to do. So, you know, recipes are fun to tweak and try out new things, you know. All right, so let's get started on getting going on this. So for this recipe, I'm gonna need chicken, ranch dressing, and potatoes. Then after it's cooked, I'm gonna sprinkle some bacon, already cooked bacon on top, along with some green onions. All right, so let's get going. Okay, so I'm going to spray my foil packet with some cooking spray so it doesn't stick, just like I did the last time. And then it calls for, the recipe calls for, what does it call for? It calls for calls for 2 chicken thighs per person. Well, I'm only going to do 1 chicken thigh per person because we're not huge, super big eaters, and my husband and I. So I bought 1, and I'm just going to cut it in half. So the thigh, and then I'm going to put it on one side, and put the other one on the other side. Then I'm going to do the same thing over here to this one. There, and you're using skinless, boneless chicken thighs. You could probably use breast, but it's going to take a little longer to cook. All right, so I'm going to add some potatoes, and it called for some potatoes that I've never heard of before, so all I did was I just made some potatoes, and then I just used regular potatoes. So that's all I did. And I'm going to move things out of the way. Maybe. Generally touch everything as much as I am right now, so I'll be washing everything off, don't worry, especially since I'm using raw chicken. Alright, let me wash my hands real quick before I do the next step. Okay, so then I'm going to add a third of a cup of ranch dressing to each packet, and then I'm going to, after I add the ranch dressing, then I'm going to wrap them up. Kind of gonna just spread it over. Let me get right. Kind of get all the goodies out of there, out of the measuring cup. So let me know what kinds of tweaks you would do to these recipes, if any. What would you do? You know, the nice thing about foil packets is that you can do them up ahead of time, like I said, you know, and you can get creative. We do one where all we do is take our potatoes and we take potatoes and we put a little bit of garlic and a little bit of butter on them, and then we toss it on the grill, and we grill it up with our whatever meat protein we're making. Okay, so I got this going. Now these are going to cook a little bit longer on the air fryer. So you're going to have to cook these in the air fryer for about 50 minutes is what I'm thinking. Maybe a little less. You just want to make sure the chicken's cooked all the way. So let me grab the air fryer thing. Okay, so I'm going to put them on my air fryer tray. I'm going to make sure they're all covered. Alright, so I'm going to get these into the air fryer, and then I will bring you back when they're completely finished, and I'll show you what the finished product looks like. Alright, thanks. Okay, so I got the chicken out of the air fryer, and it's just sitting here right now, and I'm about ready to add the bacon and the green onions to it. And then we'll let it cool for probably a moment because it's a little warm, and then we're going to enjoy it. I'm going to probably add some vegetables because there wasn't really any vegetables with this meal. So probably going to do that, and then we're going to have some dinner. So let me show you what it looks like. Alright, so hold on one second and I'll take you on over there. Okay, so this is what it looks like. I'm going to add a little bit of bacon to each one of the foil packets. And you can use, it calls for, calls for pre-cooked bacon, but I just made we just made our own bacon, and that's what we're using. So I'm just going to add that to it. And then I'm going to add a little bit of green onions, not a whole lot, because I'm just not really wanting a whole lot. Then I'm going to cover these back up and let the bacon warm up a little bit in it. And then we're going to eat. Okay. Thanks for coming along with me on this journey. And if you have any ideas on how you would tweak these 3 recipes, let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, like I said, I'm going to redo these recipes in the fall, and I'm going to do a couple little tweaks to them and see how which ones we like the best. All right, so once again, thanks for coming along. I hope you have a great day. Talk to you later. Oh, make for sure you hit the like, subscribe, and share. All right, talk to you later. Bye.